Hey, Ann. I wanted to tell you something. It's serious. It's about us. You might want to sit down. Okay. I hope you won't freak out. I don't, it's kind of a long story, and I don't want to really make it more confusing than it has to be. So, I'll just cut right to the chase. I have multiple personalities, and they're the same person, but we're not the same. Like, it's me regardless, but no, this isn't like a prank. I wouldn't be playing a joke like this. It's I would have told you sooner, but to be honest, I trust you. And no offense, I hardly trust anyone. And before, in the past, when I would have friends and I got almost to this level, they kind of distanced themselves, and, some friends they were, but regardless, I thought maybe things would just fade, and I know that, we're together, but I don't know, I guess in my heart, I kind of expected the worst, not because of you, but just because of others, but that's not very fair to you. Yeah, I do trust you. Well, hello, darling. No. This is no ploy. This is no trick. I assure you that everything is A-okay. You see, well, he's kind of explained a lot of it, but I'll get to the origin. You see, when Zach here, your boyfriend, he moved, and he didn't really have a lot of friends, and for the first 3 months, he basically had like 0 friends, and thankfully he wasn't bullied, but he did feel quite lonely. So, out of sadness, he manifested me, and I became a part of him. On one hand, it became nice because I was basically most things that he wasn't. I was confident. I started making moves. And sure enough, he wasn't the most popular. And that's not exactly, well, I guess I'm not that great. But, he started to become known, which was something he wasn't. And no offense to him. But, yeah, he started getting known. He made a few friends, but I was there to stay. And so, because we parallel each other, we do share, we're like 2 sides of the same coin. But we're different, but also the same person. I know that's not exactly it sounds very cryptic, like one of those puzzles, like riddle me this Batman. But, well, I'm glad it makes some sort of sense to you, because I almost don't quite understand it, and I'm with this guy, so. Look, when we talk, I don't know if you've ever seen the show like Moon Knight. Have you ever seen that, like on Disney Plus? Okay, so basically it's like that, where, the other personality inside the head, and they do hear all the actions and words that are said, and I can hear him talking and doing all his, little shenanigans. But he can never take over. Once he signs off control, I take control, and, he'll get control when I sign off, and I will allow him to take control. The same goes for him, So it's not like I'm just gonna keep him captive. No. We're a team. But like he said, he really does trust you. And, we held off on this because we were afraid that you would think of us as a freak, some sort of monster, and, well, I was afraid. I was afraid that he'd leave us for, being a monster and just not being right like everyone should be. And I really wanted it to work, but I totally understand if this is too much for you, or that this is just a lot to take in. Well, don't say it like that. You make us sound like a complete loser. Sorry, I didn't mean to insult him. But we are the same coin, I know I've mentioned that several times. Yes, I'm a little more sharp around the edges. I'm literally everything he's not. Well, my apologies that I come off as rude and snappy and... Yes, I heard. Look, No, you know what? I'm not going to sign off control. Look. I'm sorry that I snapped at you and that I was getting very witty and very bothersome. I can hear him yelling and telling me what to do while you're there telling me that I should yell at him. And there's a lot of noise. That stuff pisses me off. But, you only hear half of it, so I apologize. It's really hard for me to tap into my feelings the same way he does. Because, again, like I told you, I was manifested when he had no friends. I was his abrasive side. The thing he formed when the world turned his back on him. And so, I turned my back on a lot of people. Because that's how it was. But that's not how it is now. So, I hope I don't live to regret this. But if it's not too much, I would like to hold you. This feeling is new to me. Yes, and it's a little bit different when you're watching from the sidelines. Yeah, I've witnessed what's gone down. I ain't judging. I ain't hating either. So, we've got that on lock. I'm sorry, I should have said something earlier, but yeah, I mean, it's cool. We're the same guy. I mean, it's not like totally. Okay, well, I, I don't mean to be pushy, but may I hold you? Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, I can feel my stress melt away. The harshness and anger that I had for the world has almost dissipated entirely. My head is not full of so many angry voices. Well, that's because I'm not yelling. Can we please both get along and just hold her? I'm sorry, darling. I never asked, actually. Would would you accept both of us? I know it's a lot and it'll take a lot of learning, but I do believe that we can make this work for you. We both care about you a great deal. I probably show it a little bit better than he does, but no offense. None taken. But we're here for you, hon. Thick and thin. That sort of deal. So, it would be a great honor if you were there for us. I never thought you would think of it like two boyfriends, but you know, I like you. I think I like you a lot. I like the way you think. Well, I hope we can both love you equally as much. I'm hopping in now. And thank you for accepting both of us. I know he was pretty much talking for a lot of it, but I figured most of it would make a lot more sense coming through him because I tend not to yell things. I don't really like yelling at things, and what was it? The yelling aside, I tend to ramble and stutter on my words, and I figured that was too unfair for me to explain all that crap, and then he would just, just kind of explain things, and you see I'm doing it right now. It's how I am, and I'm sorry that I'm so... Well, I'm glad you like it. My heart melts when you say stuff like that. It makes you feel like, like I'm loved. And, before I met you, I severely had doubts on actual love anymore. Because any lady I did take interest in just kind of faded out of my existence, and I try and send them memes and stuff. Like I do you, yeah, but they never opened it or they didn't read it for over like 3 days, and I'm like, they're, or I'm not on their priority list. So I just kind of said to hell with it and, didn't bother with that because I, you know what, I kind of started with the whole like relationship thing, but I don't really want to get into that because I don't want to look back on everything I freaking hated. I want to look now at what I love. I do. I really do love you. I love you as well. I'm sorry I didn't have anything creative to say, but we love you. And we appreciate that we're not a monster and that you'll accept us both. It really means a lot from both of us. Our heart burns with fire in it, inspired to make you feel better and to make you feel loved, darling. We wouldn't be us without you, hon. We love you too.